Cars, check. Racing track, check. Pit crew, check. Oh, this is insane. How confusing it is. Everything is almost the same in NASCAR and F1. Then what can be the difference between both the sports? Are you also confused about it? So don't worry, pals, that's why I'm here. Hey race friends, welcome back to NASCAR Zone. Genuinely, both seem to be about the same thing. Fans watch as a group of cars gathers around a track while they wait for the checkered flag to fall. Both of these motorsports are known across the country and around the world. In the end, they are all pretty much the same. They all wait for one driver to cross the finish line while the others fall behind. There are stars in both of these sports. There's a lot more to NASCAR and Formula One than what meets the eye, whether it's the rules, the technology, or the way the races are set up. So without any delay, let's talk about the most obvious ways NASCAR and Formula One are different. But before that, please hit the bell icon and subscribe to the channel to get every single update about the channel. So let's get started. When you look at the cars used in NASCAR and Formula One, you can see that they are different. The car of tomorrow, sedan body that NASCAR chose, is meant to be a good representation of the cars that most people drive. The driver is safe inside, and the wheels are right next to the frame. Aside from all the advertising, it wouldn't be too strange to see one of those cars on an American highway. But you will never see anything on a regular road that looks like a Formula One race car, not with its wheels and open seats. That's why you never have to put Max Verstappen next to a NASCAR car with his car. The look of a Chevy, Toyota, or Ford stock chassis is changed to make a NASCAR car. In Formula One, on the other hand, teams have to make their own cars. F1 cars are made to be as fast as possible in any environment. They have sharp noses that cut through the air to reduce resistance. Not to say that NASCAR cars are fast. Formula One cars go 233 miles per hour on average, while NASCAR cars go 200 miles per hour on average. This means that the strategies you need to use to drive in each type of race are quite different. The difference of 33 miles per hour doesn't change how fast the cars seem to be going when you're watching them live. Formula One and NASCAR are very different in terms of business and prestige. Formula One makes a lot of money. Each year, it brings in $1.5 billion. But with $3 billion in worldwide earnings, NASCAR is worth twice as much as Formula One. We can only dream of these insane amounts, don't you think? Leave your message in the comments. Lewis Hamilton, the highest paid driver in F1, makes about $40 million a year, while the best NASCAR drivers make less than $10 million, including salary and bonuses. In 2019, there were 4 million people at Formula One races, but only 500,000 at NASCAR races. Formula One may have a few more people watching it live, but it is more of an international sport. There are races all over the world, with one in North America, but NASCAR races take place almost everywhere in the United States. Even the United States thinks of it as a regional sport. What do you prefer to watch? To F1 or a crazy NASCAR race? Let me know in the comments. And finally, from a business point of view, NASCAR is an organization that is self-run and only concerned with the game. Formula One, on the other hand, is just a part of the FIA, which is in charge of many other motorsports organizations as well. The rules of both these sports are quite different. The tracks for NASCAR are all ovals, and cars can only turn left. Formula One tracks, on the other hand, can be any shape as long as there is one loop that connects everything. All kinds of loops and turns are added to the mix so that F1 cars can go in any direction. NASCAR does not allow telemetry. Once the driver is in their car on the track, they should pray and hope that their team has made it as good as it can be. They can change their ideas and plans, but they can't change the car itself. But in Formula One, measuring tools and laptops are fine, and drivers are not forbidden from turning their cars during a race. In addition to things that aren't allowed, Formula One cars can't touch each other when they're racing. Not only is it against the law, but it is also very dangerous because they are moving so fast. In NASCAR, hitting the other drivers is allowed and has become an important part of most teams' plans. Even though pit stops are a part of both Formula One and NASCAR, to make sure the cars can run without stopping for the whole race, the reasons for them tend to be different. Since NASCAR races are longer, they have to stop at least once to change tires and fill up on gas. F1 rules say that a car has to use at least 2 of the 3 different types, so it needs to make at least 1 pit stop. The formula for Formula One doesn't take into account refueling though. Since the 2009 season, it has been illegal because it is dangerous and expensive. F1 cars, on the other hand, don't have to worry about the ban because F1 races are much shorter than other races. Formula 1 races are usually only about 185 miles long, while NASCAR races have more than 300 laps around the track. So, a NASCAR race can last up to 4 hours, but a Formula 1 race can only last up to 2 hours. How much time matters is a big difference between the two when it comes to time-based rules. NASCAR is a lot like baseball in that there is no official clock, so the race goes on until all the laps are done. Formula 1 races, on the other hand, can be called after 2 hours, no matter how many laps have been done. Even bigger, the length of the season is different between the two groups. At the very least, there are 36 races in a NASCAR season. If you count the Bud Shootout, an all-star race, that number goes up to 38. On the other hand, only 19 races are held in F1 each year. One driver has been named the champion in both of these seasons. Another catch is that there is no one way to get the title. The point system is used in both Formula 1 and NASCAR. In NASCAR, the end-of-year playoffs are based on how many points a driver has. Through a series of races, the winner is chosen from the 16 drivers who made the shortlist. Formula 1, on the other hand, only uses points to decide who the winner is. Once the winner has reached a score where it is mathematically impossible for anyone else to catch up and pass them, the driver wins. They won't get their prize until the end of the season, at the FIA prize giving ceremony. The strategies are also different for NASCAR and F1. Because each type of race car is different in length, has different rules, and looks different, drivers have to come up with very different ways to win. Formula 1 is usually pretty easy to understand. The winner is the person whose car is the fastest. Because of this, teams are more than happy to spend money on research, engineering, and development. This is also why F1 cars have the best aerodynamics possible. Because of this, Formula 1 is known for being a very technical and scientific sport. Still, there are some good moves that an F1 driver can use to even the odds. Undercutting is when a driver makes a pit stop at the right time to switch from a softer, slower tire to a harder, faster tire. This gives them a faster lap time and can help them get ahead of other drivers. But for some techniques like that to work, the driver needs to be close to the front. If a driver doesn't do well in qualifying and starts the race at the back, it's unlikely that they will be able to get to the front and win. In NASCAR, the underdogs shine. Even the last car to start can be the first to finish. Since not every chassis is the same in terms of how aerodynamic it is, you can use strategy and physics to help you win, which is not easy to do in Formula 1. Even though NASCAR and Formula 1 is very different motorsports, fans of both can still enjoy the spirit of the game together, even if some fans love to battle between NASCAR and Formula 1. People who watch both seasons can learn more about both the art and science of car racing. No matter which one you choose to watch, NASCAR or Formula 1, you won't be disappointed you did. So, I think we are at the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then give this video a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you will never miss any update. If you have any questions or queries in your mind, tell me in the comment box, and also check out our channel. You find really cool stuff.